You know those days where design just feels dull? You're stuck tweaking layouts and doing the same thing on Figma hundreds and hundreds of times. Sure, sometimes you do have scope for creativity, but a lot of the fun stuff gets buried, and the boring bits eat up hours that you actually want to spend designing. This is exactly the space that I think some AI tools might be able to help with. I've been working as a senior product designer for over 5 years, and I've been teaching classes at the Interaction Design Foundation, Experience House, and here on YouTube. So I know how to get around Figma really quickly. But I still sometimes find myself getting frustrated with the boring bits and wishing I could snap my fingers and have a whole app flow generated for me. So I was really excited to hear from the team at Banani. Since I made this comparison video trying out a bunch of different AI design tools back in May, lots of companies have reached out, but Banani was one of the ones which I got really excited when I tried using. And the reason is it's not just trying to be another one-click, write a prompt and get a full featured AI design app. Instead, it's trying to solve a very specific problem, which is trying to replace all of those boring things that us designers don't want to be doing. So I'm gonna put it to the test. I've got an idea for an app flow, and I want to see if I can do it in Banani quicker than I could do it in Figma. But before we jump into comparing them, what is the problem I'm trying to solve? So I've got a friend getting married next year, and he came to me with this idea. He's been to loads of weddings where they've got a seat chart and people always crowd around it trying to find where they're sat. And he thought, why couldn't I just have a QR code that people scan, they type in their name, and then they get to see where they're sitting? So this is super simple. I don't need to do any deep UX research, and I already know which of the brand archetypes I'm going to use for this. It's the perfect idea to test Banani's promise. But first, let's set a benchmark. Let's see how quickly I can make this whole app flow in Figma.
Moments later.
So this is where I've got to. It's taken me about 30 to 40 minutes to come up with this, and I'm using all the Figma abilities which let me move really fast. I'm using component, auto layout, multi-editing, tons of keyboard shortcuts. I know all the keyboard shortcuts.
He does know all the shortcuts.
So let me just talk you through it. The way I envision this app working is that you start by scanning a QR code and then it opens this web app straight away. You type in your name, and as soon as you've typed in enough characters, it shows you which table you'll be sitting at. So a really simple interface. I've tried to have this beige terracotta feel. And now we know what the benchmark is. Let's see how long it takes us to do this in Banani. We're just going to start by giving it a really simple prompt. So we're going to set the device to mobile, leave this on quality. We're just going to ask it to make us a new style instead of using a preset or one we've made earlier. And we'll just hit generate. And what I love about Banani is you don't need to be amazing at writing prompts. It gives you a design spec. It does that extra thinking step before you hit generate. So let's try that now. I love watching it just like build all the elements bit by bit. And here we go. It's done a really good job on its first attempt. It's just given me something really very quickly. There's some stuff here which is a bit confusing, like QR linked, but like I said, this isn't just a one prompt and we're done. This is just to speed up all the boring stuff. So making this whole page and getting the spacing right and having the icons and the layouts, that took me a long time in Figma, and this has just done it. It's got really nice spacing, really nice hierarchy, and I'm gonna show you a few of the features that I've come to love with Banani. So this first thing blew my mind when I first saw it. When you hover on different elements on the design it's generated, you get this prompt which says generate next screen. And if you just click it, it's going to look at what you've already got and see if it can work out what the optimal next step is in the flow with all the context that it has. So this is really cool. It's given me something, and as you can see, this isn't what I had imagined in Figma. It's not what I've got in my head. So I'm gonna edit it. So what do we want to edit or add to the screen? Remove the map and the heading and the crown icon. So I've just asked it to remove a lot of the extra features and clutter that it gave me. Some of those were really good ideas, like show the screen to an usher if you need help. So this is looking a lot closer to what I had. Obviously I had the full color background to signify that change in state, but mainly I know what I want that to look like. So another cool thing is I can just click up here, copy the screen, and you'll see it says exporting to Figma. And just like that, without having to do anything else, I can jump into Figma and press Command V, and it just puts it in here. And you can see in Banani, I just have my screens and there's no layer hierarchy in here. But when I'm in Figma, I can press enter to open up all of those layers and see what's going on. So say maybe I don't want that to be inside of a wrapper and I want that whole thing to have this gold color. I can just really quickly do that myself in Figma because I'm a designer, I know how to use Figma. I don't want a brand new tool which takes away all of this design capability from me. I just want something to like get through all those boring steps. So one more thing I want to show you is editing a specific thing. So say I want to remove this element, I can just very quickly use this edit selection tool and write something in and press generate, and it will update exactly what I've asked it to do. And as I very quickly iterate on things, I've always got my version history here. So I can see my successive prompts. Here I asked for it to give me a screen which has the kind of autofill option as I'm typing, and then I wanted to have the couple's name at the top to make it feel more inviting, and then I wanted to get rid of all those border radiuses. So it's really quick to kind of iterate on it, go back to other versions that I like, and again, when I'm ready, I can just copy it to Figma and it will export it, and I just have to come back into Figma and hit Command V, and I've got my screen here in Figma. So here we have the comparison. This top design in Figma took me around 38 minutes, and it took a lot of like fiddly moving stuff around, getting the spacing exactly perfectly right. And I would say I am quite fast at using Figma. So I did this super fast, and I'm amazed at how quickly Banani can make something. Obviously, it's not polished, it's not comparable. I have my own opinions about which fonts and which colors I want to use, but Banani still lets me bring all of that stuff in. With this as a starting point, I can just so quickly update it to something I like. And this took me literally like 30 seconds. You saw how quickly I did it. So hopefully you can see just how exciting and interesting Banani is. They've got some new features coming out soon to do with version control for teams and adding comments, but I think it's in such a good place right now that you owe it to yourself to give it a go and try it out on your next design project. Over the last few months, I've been trying out so many different AI design tools which have been coming out, but this is one which I can really see myself using. But if you are interested in finding out about the process of shipping an app which you've designed yourself with the help of AI tools, I've linked a video about that right here, so you can go check that one out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.